we're Team Mills. They say teamwork makes the dream work, and we're here to tell you they were right.
I'm John, the dreamer and logistics.
I'm Megan, the caution and the creative. Together, we've spent the last 10 years raising babies and building multiple businesses from the ground up. One thing we know to be true, we couldn't have done it without each other. From late nights to early mornings, failures and successes, and the unbelievable joy of seeing our dreams come to life, we live and breathe entrepreneurship, and we know firsthand just how much work it takes.
But we're not only business partners, we've been married for 10 years and have 4 beautiful kids who we homeschool in East Tennessee. We want to instill these life skills and values in our children and do life alongside them. We believe life is better as a team in every area. No one can do it alone. So our hope in this podcast is to walk alongside you, encourage you, and maybe teach you a thing or two about running a business and just life in general.
So let's get to work and learn something new. Welcome back to the podcast, guys.
Hey, guys.
All right, today we have a special guest. We have Alyssa Locher, who owns Spray and Slay locally. Alyssa, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited. She is a local business owner that has a really cool tanning booth. I don't even know if that's the correct, am I using the correct term?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. She's going to tell us all about it today and share her journey of entrepreneurship, how she does what she does, why she does what she does, and how it even came about, which I'm very intrigued to hear. I've been a customer before of this booth, and I'm very excited to talk about it today. But before we do that, we need to dive into today's community spotlight. So let's do that really quick. I want to shout out Tessa and thank her for being a part of our community. Tessa is a fellow homeschool mom. She's raising babies, loving Jesus. She's a light on Instagram. She always compliments my stuff on Instagram. Like, she's just so encouraging, which I feel like I'm getting repetitive in saying these people's names and they're so encouraging. But truly, each one of these people that we mention, that's what they do. And that's why I'm shouting out their names, is because they're in my DMs on the regular, like giving us love and kindness. And so we're shouting them out. So thank you, Tessa, for being a sweet spot on Instagram with me. And I appreciate you so much. I see you and I love you. So
you're saying if they want to be in the spotlight, they need to be nice to you, right?
Yeah, guys, just send me really nice messages and I'll shout out your name, okay? No, these people are so kind and I feel like I've built relationships with them. And Tessa's one of those people. So just, a little shout out here and there. All right, let's jump into today's episode and get to know Alyssa.
I am pumped. It's all about business here, so I can't wait to hear your story.
I know, John's super eager. Anytime we get to talk about business, he's like hype level for this. So Alyssa, start by just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Greenville, Tennessee. I'm married to my husband, Russell. We met about 9 years ago. We have 2 boys, Caden and Rowan. And we go to Calvary Church in Johnson City. And we love to camp every weekend. We camp. We have a camper and a boat at Cherokee Lake. So we live the camping life.
So fun.
Yes. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. How old are your boys?
14 and almost 7.
So sweet.
So 2 totally different stages, but
you have your hands full.
We are making it work.
I love it. For those of you who don't know, Alyssa and her husband Russell are huge supporters of the Cookie Crate. Every time we have a new launch, a cookie launch, I'm kid you not, like Russell's in the door before we've even finished launching the box, and he's like, Alyssa texted me, I had to be here.
But Haley messaged me, the cookies just came out of the oven.
But she never comes. It's always him.
I know, it's always Russell.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I met Russell before I met you. He came in one time and he was buying, I think it was a Valentine's Day box. It was like the second time and I had seen him and I'm like, this guy's in here a lot getting cookies. And he was like, okay, I got to write a note. Ladies, help me. We were like, oh, we got you, Russell. We'll do this. And that was before I even knew you. And then Haley and I were like, okay, let's go see his wife. So we went and looked and we were like, wait a minute. She's like a business owner and like a boss babe. And she's beautiful. Like, wait a minute. She's in our next photo shoot for sure. And then we had Alyssa in our Valentine's Day shoot. That was fun.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a little backstory of how we secretly stalked Alyssa and found her and then asked her to be a part of our shoot.
Yeah, back to why he's always there too. So when it's launch day and the cookies come out of the oven, it's Russell's lunch break at the exact same time. Every single time. So it's literally perfect. Yep.
We built that schedule just for him.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've established that you have Spray and Slay. Tell people a little bit about it and just I'm curious, have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur? I don't remember that. I feel like we've talked before, and that wasn't how this started. Like, it kind of just happened.
So no, an entrepreneur was actually never an idea of mine. But I get asked that question a lot, and it's funny because I'm truly surrounded by entrepreneurs. So I don't really know why it was never in my thoughts. I think when I graduated high school, it was like, oh, you have to go to college, you have to get a degree. So I just that's what I did. I went into teaching. Isn't that what like all girls do? A teacher or a nurse.
This is true.
Shout out to you all, because that's not for me. So I just thought that I needed to, go to college, get a degree. So no, an entrepreneur was not in my thoughts at all. But like I said, I have been surrounded by plenty of them. My mom has ran and now owns a restaurant. The gym that I go to is owned by a guy. He's an entrepreneur. Where I get my nails done is a girl. Where I get my hair done, I'm like I said, I'm surrounded by all kinds of small entrepreneurs. But like I said, I just thought that I needed to get a college degree. Once I realized that wasn't for me, I was very confused. What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to, where am I supposed to go? Where is life taking me? When I realized college kind of wasn't for me. But it's such a pressure that I feel like so many people my age feel.
Yeah.
If you don't have a college degree, and not to keep dwelling on that. But for me, it was really hard. It was really hard to accept. So,
you kind of feel like you're free falling. You're like, well, where am I supposed to do?
Yeah. So I was a waitress for a little while. I worked at a vet clinic for a little while. I did retail for a little while. I feel like I've dabbled in a little bit of everything.
Best way to find out what you don't want to do.
Exactly. So then and this is kind of falling into how Spray and Slay came about. I was a dental assistant for about a year and a half. I went into the dental field. I love teeth. I've always loved teeth. And I worked for an amazing woman. She prayed before her patients every morning.
Wow.
Was so kind, so generous. I just knew that was my forever job. I did not want to leave. And then October of 2020, my grandmother had a stroke. And it kind of left me, where do I go from here? I'm the only one that she has left. My dad passed away when I was in high school. So I was kind of all she had left. So I ran into do we send her to a nursing home? Yeah. Do I take care of her? And I still remember the conversation with Russell. We were at Cootie Brown's, and I said, we are the hands and feet in Jesus, and this is what I'm supposed to do. I could feel the calling that no matter how much I didn't want to do it, it was what I was supposed to do.
Wow.
So I quit my job.
Wow.
And my, needless to say, dream job still
oh, wow.
makes me teary-eyed.
Oh,
sorry.
You're fine.
I just can't dwell enough how mentally challenging it is to, when you finally feel like, oh, you finally have found yourself, you found where you're supposed to be.
Sure.
And that gets ripped from you.
In a selfless decision.
Yeah.
It wasn't even.
Yeah. So, but as always, I trusted God's plan, and I knew that there would be something bigger, there would be something better. So, sorry.
You're okay.
So about a month into taking care of my grandmother, and I had no idea how to take care of anyone. I raised, I helped raise Caden. I raised Rowan, but taking care of someone who's completely bedbound, like cannot do anything for themselves besides feed themselves. So I didn't know.
Job.
Yeah, I didn't know anything how to do that. It happened during COVID. I didn't get someone to learn. I didn't get to go into the nursing home and learn, like, this is what you do. This is how you turn her. This is how you change her. Like, I was pretty much all self-taught.
Wow.
So about a month in, I financially So I've been spray tanning for 10 years since I was in high school, but financially it was just something that I needed to give up. It was like, it's not a necessity anymore. Like there's more important things that we need to focus on.
You're talking about you getting spray tans. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've been getting them since I was in high school. But financially, that was just something that we needed to give up. And so I did. And a week later, Russell was like, I can't stand to see you like this.
What, pale or sad?
Pale and sad. He said, so we're going to buy a spray tan machine and I'm going to learn how to spray tan you.
Oh, wow. God bless.
Good job, Russell.
So we ordered like this little tiny machine off Amazon and a little pop-up tent, and we got down with it in our bedroom, popped up that tent, and he watched some YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure that I took 7 showers the first time he gave me a spray tan. So
I wish there was a documentation of that.
Yeah, but now he's like an absolute pro. So everyone always asks me, who gives you a spray tan now? Yeah, Russell does.
Your husband.
So
that's great.
Anyways, so, and then it just kind of, everyone found out, oh, Alyssa has a spray tan machine. Oh, can you give me a spray tan? So I was like, well, maybe I need to learn how to do it. So then I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I was like, okay, for $10, I'll come to your house with my tent and give you a spray tan.
Nice.
So I did that. And then,
because you could do that around your schedule with your grandmother too, right?
Yep. I could leave for an hour, go give a spray tan, come back. Yeah. So, back to the entrepreneur thing, I'm surrounded by entrepreneurs. So everyone thought it was the coolest thing that I was giving spray tan. So everyone was like, oh, I know someone who can give you a spray tan, and blah, blah, blah. And word of mouth. And then I was doing like 10 spray tans a week. And it was like, this is like kind of good extra money. This is kind of cool. Maybe I should start a business out of this. And, so I had told Russell, I was like, I don't really know what I can do. Like, maybe we can build a she shed. Well, that was like $50,000. That was not going to happen. Well, I had a certain amount of money Russell and I set aside, and I was on Facebook Marketplace one night, and I was looking for some kind of shed, and I ended up finding a trailer. And this trailer, if you go on my Instagram and you see, it's really cool on the inside. But it already had floors and cabinets and basically everything but the aesthetics. And it was the exact amount of money that I had.
I love when God works like that.
Not a penny less, not a penny more. Russell got there and he was like, he talked him down like, I think $300, but then used that $300 to buy the hitch that we needed to attach to the car to pull it back home. Cool. So I messaged this guy at midnight, and I was like, but I didn't even wake Russell up. I told him the next morning, I was like, you have to go to Mississippi today to pick up this trailer. And he was like, okay. So he took off work and he went to Mississippi and he picked up this trailer. And then for 3 months after that, we just worked and made it really cool on the inside. And
it's super cool on the inside.
So that's how Spray and Slay became about. It's a really crazy story, but
that is a super cool story. I love hearing that.
Yeah, I love hearing people's like scrappy stories of just how they figured it out. Like nothing was convenient, nothing was simple or easy. You just figured it out. Every question, you figured it out.
It was there, and it is definitely a God story. Like you said, I was mentally not myself for so long, or what felt like so long, but really only a couple of months. And he turned it into something so great that literally I am now home with my kids. I make my own schedule. I take care of my grandmother. I provide for my family. I do all the things even better than what I could do before. And so it's really cool.
I feel like I keep coming back to this verse. He keeps throwing it in my face and convicting me that he gives and takes away. And that's such an example of that. Yeah. Like you felt like your job was being taken away that you loved, but you had no idea the fruit that it would bear.
I knew something. And Russell kept telling me, you are being the hands and feet of Jesus. Like you will be blessed.
He will bless that.
Whether it's a month from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now, like you will be blessed, Alyssa. And even though I can feel that blessing some days when I'm like, I'm really doing it. Like I'm taking care of a whole human, but it didn't feel like that for me. It wasn't, I've always felt like I needed to be doing something. It wasn't enough to make me feel like I was doing enough, if that makes sense. But
sure. Were you super close with your grandmother before all of that happened, or did you just kind of get thrown into the role that?
No, I've always been close with her. So she helped raise me. She actually kept Rowan. I went back to work when Rowan was 6 weeks old, and she kept Rowan until he was 2 every single day. So he didn't have to go to daycare. So no, it was definitely she did this for me, and I'm supposed to do this for her. Like,
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you have that relationship with her
Yeah.
and you were able to be there for her.
Yeah. And it is not easy. So shout out to anyone who takes care of a family member or anything. Unless you do it, you truly have no idea. It's,
a selfless act for sure. So Spray and Slay was born in 2020 or 2021?
2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So this July will be 1 year. Or July 28th, sorry.
That's so soon.
I know,
You're celebrating a year so soon.
1 year.
That's exciting. Congratulations.
I know. Thank you.
So what was your thoughts in starting a business in the pandemic, right in the middle of it?
Well, once again, I just thought it'll be okay. Like, I'm such a free spirit, kind of like it.
I feel her.
It is what it is. Like, I don't know. Like, the Lord will provide. Like, and Russell is so not. Like, he is very like, well, maybe we should wait a little while. Well, we need to make sure it's completely perfect. It's like, that greenery is not right. You cannot have photos taken today. You don't have the right gut. Like, he is very, and I'm like, no, Eric.
We'll figure it out.
Yep. I have no notes today because I'm just going to roll with it. Like, it's the same thing. So
I knew I liked her. Russell and John would get along really well. They can go overanalyze while we go free spirited up.
Yep, it'll be all right. Planned a vacation in 1 week. We planned our honeymoon 3 weeks before our wedding. So
that's great.
Bought my wedding dress 2 months before we got married. First, it was the third dress I tried on. It fit like a glove, and I said, yeah, I'll take it. It's fine.
You're like, I'm not going to think too much about this.
It's fine.
So your stress level stays down really well.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Honestly, that's a great quality to have as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay, so what does the process of getting a tan at Spray and Slay look like? Like, tell me some of the things that you're like passionate about with it and what the process looks like.
So one reason I think I'm so passionate about it is because I've been doing it for so long. I know that I wouldn't put on a bathing suit if I didn't have a spray tan. I wouldn't do certain things if I didn't have a spray tan. So I think that because I'm super passionate about it, has made Spray and Slay more successful. If someone needs a spray tan at 9:00 at night, it's really hard for me to say no because I know they're like, they really want this spray tan. If they're coming at 9:00 at night, I have to do it. But the process is you book with me through Instagram or Facebook. Once you book with me and we figure out time, I'm located in Greenville, but I am in Johnson City every other week. So once we pick time, location, then I send you everything you need to know prior, what you need to do for prep. And then you come to the trailer, give you a spray tan. We do like a color consult kind of thing prior. And then I send you home with aftercare instructions, and that's about it.
It's a very comfortable process too. Like, I want anyone to think when they're listening to this, I've always gotten spray tans at like a suntan city or something like that, where you like walk into that cave looking thing, like spaceship, and then, it spins around you, whatever, you get out and you go. I don't like doing any of those things because I just don't like those environments very much. They make me uncomfortable. I don't know why. But coming to a person was a whole nother ball game for me. And Alyssa did our spray tans for our Valentine's Day photo shoot for all of the models. And that was my first time getting it done by an actual person spraying me. And I was super nervous because like, this is intimate. This is like a thing. And I didn't know what it was going to look like, be like. It was so calm and cool. And you're so calm and cool, if y'all can't tell already, that it was not nerve-wracking in the slightest. And I felt so comfortable the entire time. Alyssa talks to you the entire time that it's happening. So you're like not even paying attention, honestly. And there's you have drinks, you have like it's just nice. It's a nice environment.
Yeah.
And the truck's really a cool vibe too. And there's like a privacy wall. I mean, it's nice. It's perfectly, very well thought through. You thought through all the details for sure.
For sure.
Okay, so do you offer other services on the truck as well, or is it just spray tans?
So I also do teeth whitening.
You said you were passionate about teeth,
Back
so
to
I
the
love
teeth.
seeing that come into play.
So I was like, how can I coordinate, or how can I incorporate teeth with spray tans? Okay, well, when you get a spray tan, you lose 10 pounds and your teeth are whiter instantly the second you step out of the truck. So I was like, I need to whiten people's teeth.
You feel like a new woman.
Yeah. So I know I wanted to start whitening teeth because I felt comfortable with it. It's not something, that you have to have degree for or anything like that, but I do have degrees in dentistry. And so it's like, if I look at your teeth and, oh, well, you have a little gum recession, so we probably shouldn't work on your teeth today. Or, your calculus is a little too built up. We should probably reschedule until you get your teeth cleaned. So I thought I could definitely incorporate that to make people even more comfortable, because it is kind of a process. Your teeth can be sensitive, your gums can be sensitive. And if you don't follow all the protocols, you can make someone's teeth really sensitive.
Sure. So I love that you know what you're doing. That makes a big impact.
It does.
Just like an added bonus.
I have been just as busy with teeth whitening as I have been with spray tans. I am actually whitening my 100th set of teeth this week.
Wow. Get it, girl.
So, yeah.
1 year anniversary coming up.
And 100 teeth.
How many spray tans do you think you've done?
I don't have a clue. I have every single appointment. I handwrite every appointment. And so I started with one book and I'm at my second book and I'm going to my third book. So I honestly,
you should count that up for your 1 year to have a number.
I am absolutely going to.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to come celebrate at the cookie crate?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Free cookies for anyone that comes and gets a spray tan on my 1 year. They get a cookie crate cookie.
There you go.
I have randomly on busy bridal party days, like when we get into super busy wedding season soon, come August, September, October. Every so often, Thursdays are my extremely busy day. Like I usually work 12 hours on Thursdays.
Wow.
And I will sometimes throw in, I have like sparkling water, champagne. And there's been a few times when I'm like, Russell, can you go pick up some cookie crate cookies? Because we're going to, sweet. And I cut them in fours and I'm like, have a cookie on your way out.
Sweet. I love that. I didn't even know our cookies were a part of that. Thanks for the support. Okay. So you kind of talked about, you said we're talking about like the processes before you come in and get a tan and things like that. I know I've seen you do reels and stuff on Instagram about things that you need to do before, things that you can do afterwards to care for it, which is very helpful because I'm a video learner. Like you could tell me walking out of the truck and I'd be like, I retain none of that. I'm going to need a notebook or a video, like something.
Yeah.
So you are active on social media and sharing a lot of helpful tutorials and just fun content. Why? I know you're a local business only, so you're not available to everyone across the country or anything. Maybe one day.
Never know.
So why do you feel the need to just be so active on social media?
So Greenville is small. And to be honest, I don't have a ton of Greenville clients. A lot of my clientele is Johnson City. Staying active on social media, I think I got a huge follower base, so fast. Well, one, because my little trailer is different. I don't think there's anything else like it. So everyone was really intrigued at first, but I just find the more active I stay on social media, it's like every time I post a reel, every time I post a picture, I almost make like 2 to 3 appointments.
Sure.
So not that I'm really trying to reach, super, all over. It reminds people, hey, maybe I should get a spray tan this week. Maybe I should book a teeth whitening this week. Every time I stay active. So I've noticed if I kind of go quiet for a week, which I do often, then my week is slower. But if I stay really active on social media that week, my week is busier. So, and there are really cool things that potentially one day you can go further with self-tanner that I could ship across the United States. Like you can, there's a lot to that, finding what works and all of that. But
we know all about that.
Yes. So maybe one day, I feel like my follower base is, I do have, random people from all over, but, and then again, just to have people who may never get a spray tan from you, but might share your stuff. And like, just for instance, a girl that lives in Charlotte, she typed in spray tans in Johnson City and like I came up and she's from Charlotte. So it's just nice. Like that happens all the time. People who are from Florida, but they get married in Tennessee and that kind of thing. And even though there are other people in this area, I think that's how social media works. The more active you are, your stuff pops up.
Will you stay more prevalent in people's minds too? And honestly, if you're just someone who's creating fun content to watch and they get to see who they're supporting, they're way more inclined to come to you than to go to a chain, you know? And you do create such fun content. I always enjoy watching it. And you started doing like outfit reels and stuff like that too. I'm like, I love it. It's not just about spray tans. There's so much more.
Yeah, there really is. And Russell will send me at least 10 reels a week. Oh, well, you should do this one. Oh, you need to do this one. I'm like, well, you are going to have to learn how to do reels so you can video me. Okay. And he did. He literally had like 10 tabs pulled up on his phone the other day of how he's going to learn. He's gonna. Oh my goodness, we're gonna get better.
That's awesome. A team.
I know, teamwork. Yeah.
We are. Teamwork. He is Spray and Slay's #1 fan. I'm just here to tell you.
I think it's great. I love it when husbands are super supportive, and that can be intimidating. I'm sure maybe you can speak to this. It's not like I'm the entrepreneur in our marriage. Like we do everything together, and I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for John. But like you are the sole entrepreneur doing that, and he's supporting that. That has to be a little bit intimidating, I would assume.
Yeah. And he does it so well. I mean, at first, like when we first started, the trailer, I was trying to advertise as much as I could, set up at multiple wedding events. Any way that I could advertise the trailer, I did, which meant Russell had to take off work. He had to take off work early to load up the trailer, haul it, park it, and that is not always the most simple task. It's actually really difficult. So, and he did it with such grace every time. Not every time, actually. There were a few maybe cuss words. But no, he did. After it was done, he'd be like, all right, go kill it, Alyssa. Like, I mean, every time. So yeah, he's super proud.
I think that's so sweet. I love it. Are there any setbacks that you've had, or like things that you did not expect to happen with running this business?
To be honest, setbacks, no. I mean, I don't know if it's a pretty simple business. There's not a whole lot to it. So I've truly not had any setbacks. But I've had moments of, wow, like I didn't expect that, and I catch myself saying, it's just a spray tan business. And Russell will say, stop saying that. It's not just a spray tan business. Like, you can do so much more with that. Like, people come to me and they are in their most vulnerable state. Sure. You're getting undressed in front of someone you don't know. And so like you said earlier, it's brought me so much joy when people leave and they're like, thank you for making me feel so comfortable. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for not making me feel bigger than what I am. Thank you for giving me the confidence that I needed. There's been so many times where someone's just having a bad day and they just come get a spray tan and it's so much better.
Sure.
It's kind of an intimate experience. It's just you and I in my trailer. It's clean, it's quiet, it's, sometimes just a simple 15-minute experience that somebody needs.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect that because once again, I'm not giving myself enough credit. I'm just saying it's just a spray tan business.
Right.
And I have What Would Jesus Do bracelets as they leave. If they want to take one, they can take one. If they don't know what it is, they can ask. And there's been a couple of times where someone has taken one and then messaged me after and felt comfortable enough to ask me to pray for them. Would you pray for me about this? I know you just did my spray tan, and I'm like, no, like I don't care anything about your spray tan. Like I could care less about your spray tan. I don't care if you ever come back. But if you need me to pray for you, absolutely, I will pray for you. So yeah, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to reach people on different levels.
You're creating a little community inside of that, because you're right, it is a very intimate space. So for them to feel safe and vulnerable but like comfortable all at the same time, if they can do that, like of course I'd be coming to you for like, can we talk more? Like that was great.
And they do. It's just amazing. Then they come back for the second time and then I'm a therapist. So.
Sure.
And I'm here for that.
What you pray for.
And I'm so here for that. So it's great.
That was very similar to us with the cookie crate. One, we used to say the same thing. It's just cookies, but it's way, way more than just cookies. It's a ministry to us at this point. And something that we will forever look back on and be grateful for. It's caused so much connection and community both all over the world and then also just in, our community here in Johnson City. But when we opened the brick and mortar, I was so against that because I was like, I really don't want to have a storefront. I don't want to have constant interaction with people. Like, I'm an introvert naturally. So like that would deflate me. And I was so wrong. It was the best thing that ever happened because all of a sudden, all these people who had followed us on Instagram for so long were like, hey, I get to meet you in real life. And like, I got to hug people that I felt like I knew. And it's just been such a great connection. So that's like in that similarity, we never expected that. And it was such a sweet spot. And speaking of brick and mortar, that's a question I have for you because I know you've rolled it around in some conversations in our text before. Do you ever think you'll have a brick and mortar or just stick with the trailer?
I don't know. For now, I have to stick with the trailer, obviously, until while I'm taking care of my grandmother. I have to stick with the trailer. Would a brick and mortar be good? Absolutely. I know that I could grow my business triple what I have now because there's just one of me right now. So I know that I could very well do extremely well with a brick and mortar, but there's that fine line of the obstacle of family and business and how, when you run and I know you guys know this, when you run a business strictly through social media, it's extremely hard. I'm always on my phone. I do take breaks. I don't respond to every single message that comes in. Every other day I'll set aside 2 hours and I'll respond to all messages, book all appointments. But it's hard when your phone's constantly going off. It's in the back of your mind. I need to make a reel today. I need to make a post today. Right. I need to do this. I know you know how that feels. So I know that there's just so much more that will come with that. And I don't know if I'm ready for it. And I just pray, like, if it is for me, it will be for me, like, when the time is right. So maybe. And maybe not. Maybe. I don't know.
I love it. The Lord's good like that. He'll tell you when you're ready. And he'll also tell you, like, hey, throw your guard up.
Yeah.
It's not time.
It's not. Yeah.
I think that's so smart, though. Most business owners, well, I shouldn't say most business owners. There's a lot of people who go into business and it's all about, like, okay, how can we be profitable? What can we do to grow, scale. Mm-hmm. But there's a price to be paid for that, like you're saying. And if you do have a family, you have boys to raise, you have a husband to live on, like you do have other priorities, that would be a price that you pay and they would feel that.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're thinking about that and being intentional with your decisions, even though you could get a brick and mortar right now and maybe grow exponentially and make more figures, it's not worth it to you. And I think that's really cool to like think through. John's like that. He's very family oriented. So it's always like his first thought is, how's this going to affect us?
Right.
And we've talked about that a lot with our businesses and stuff like that about, we could do this, we could we could grow really fast, but if we grow really fast, if we do this, then, what's going to give, it's going to be family. It's going to be being a good dad or good mom, our marriage. Yeah. So, we chose quite a few options to not go in certain paths because we knew this was sacred, we wanted to take care of our family and have that relationship. So, I mean, you look at some of these big companies and you hear their podcasts and stuff and what they've done. I'm like, man, how can they do that with the family and stuff? Well, something's probably giving.
Something's giving for sure.
And we're not willing to give that up.
No, I'm the same way. I don't. And at first, and when you're first building a business, it's tough because you want to build your business. So for the first 6 months, like I said, I was spraying until 11 o'clock at night. I had girls who would work third shift and they'd be like, can you spray me at 4 a.m.? Yep. Sure. Come on.
You say yes to a lot because you're just trying to get what you can get.
I'm trying to get. And even though I didn't need that, at the time I wanted it. I was just so proud of myself. And now I'm like, if I don't respond to you for 2 days, I'm really sorry, but I'm at the lake with my family this weekend. You need a last minute tan? Probably not. You should have booked a week ago. Yeah. So it's just like, and I hope that doesn't sound rude, but it's just like it's boundaries. And I didn't know how to set them for the first 6 months, but I'm learning now. It's the summer. I'm not spray tanning on the weekend.
Good for you.
It's my family's way more important.
Yeah.
So
now, have you thought about having an employee?
I have. Oh my gosh. I would love to just have someone. I would love to just get a work phone and just have someone answer all of my DMs all the time, schedule all of my appointments. That'd be amazing. But the whole employee thing, someone coming to my house and like working in my trailer is like kind of weird. So
That's true.
Not right now, but if I do open up a brick and mortar, it will be, I'll start it and then I would want someone else to hopefully run it. I know
Sure.
I could open up a really cool space where all these college girls would love to work there. So
Maybe right next to the cookie crate.
yeah,
We've talked about
we've
this.
talked
Don't
about
worry
it.
We've got space.
No, Alyssa and I have already talked about it. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
There's a plan if we ever,
Okay,
she
good.
gets there, we're ready. I remember there was a time when, I guess I can talk about this now because it never actually happened, but John and I were actually interviewing for Shark Tank, and we made it to, was it the second or third interview?
There's like 100 people left or something.
Okay.
Yes, it was like one of the last ones.
It was the hardest, like talking about boundaries and like making decisions intentionally for our family. I remember doing it and feeling so pulled. Like I was like, yes, this would be incredible for our business. We would explode. But at the same time, I was like, wait a minute, this is going to cause problems. Like this is going to rip apart what we're doing. We'd be traveling, we'd grow. We would have this major toll of pressure on us. And so I remember like praying to God, like, Lord, take this away. Like I did not want to get in. I wanted it to go away, and we didn't get in. But I think that was definitely the Lord's provision, because I don't think it would have been good for our family. Like maybe in 10 years, yes, but like then raising babies in the middle of it, no, absolutely not. So that was one of those moments where I was like, we could have like skyrocketed, but I was like, please don't do this, God. I don't want this. It's such a weird prayer to pray.
It
Like,
is.
you know?
Because we wanted it, then we were like, oh, we started thinking about it. We're like,
Wait a second.
no, wait, we
Yeah.
don't want this.
Yeah.
Not the right timing.
Exactly. Is there a piece of advice that you would want to pass on to another female entrepreneur? Like I was talking to John before we came to this interview. I was like, I'm just so intrigued by Alyssa because like I mentioned before, I'm a female entrepreneur, but I'm doing it alongside my partner, and it's like a day-to-day togetherness. You're doing this as like you're making the decisions. And I know you have Russell as a sounding board. Like I'm not discrediting his position at all, but like this is your baby. Do you have advice to other female entrepreneurs doing this, rocking it solo?
Yeah. I just say, go with your heart, pray about it. If it's meant for you, it will 110% be. I actually have been approached now twice about helping 2 other women start a spray tan business. Not anywhere close to here. One is in Delaware and one is in North Carolina. And at first I was like, what? Like, what? Me? Like, you want me to help you start your business? Like, what? And then I actually talked to my grandmother. She's like my other grandmother. I have another grandmother in Knoxville. And I said, what do I charge her? I don't want to charge her. Like, I just want to help her start her business. My grandmother's like, no, like this is you. You have to grow from this. Someone wants to learn from you. Like you need to understand how important that is. Mm-hmm. You need to know what you are worth, So that was tough at first.
Sure.
But I've been talking back and forth with these ladies, and it's been like, they do want to learn from me. So I am giving them advice. Are you sure? Does this line up? Have you prayed? The first thing I ask, have you prayed about it? Are you, is it for you? Like, or is it something you just want to do because, oh, well, this would be really easy to make some money right now. Yeah. So telling them, to answer your question, I just go with your gut, go with your heart, pray about it. If it's meant to be, it will be.
This is so true. He gives and he takes away. If it's not meant to be, he'll take it away. And you want that because he knows it's for our good, right?
Yeah.
I love that you said that about someone like reaching out to you and wanting to know and grow from you. We've had that happen before in our businesses. And I'm always like, why are people asking us? Like, we know what we're doing. We're literally figuring it out as we go constantly.
Every day.
Like, I've only filed my taxes once. I don't even really know what I'm doing.
Just winging it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Alyssa, this has been such a good episode. I'm so grateful for you sharing your story and letting us hear your heart and just how you've worked so hard to get to where you are. I'm excited to see what happens with Spray and Slay over the next few years.
Yeah,
I hope you
me
grow. And congratulations on your 1-year anniversary coming up.
She needs to talk about where to find her.
Yeah, I'm about to do that.
Okay, sorry. Want to make sure she's going to get that. I've been waiting 20 minutes to say that.
Alyssa, where can people find you to potentially book an appointment with you if they're local?
So Facebook, Spray and Slay, or Instagram, is Spray and Slay 423. So either place you can DM me to book an appointment.
Okay, and Alyssa was kind enough to say that if you are local and you want to get a spray tan with her, you can mention the word teamwork and she'll give you $5 off your next appointment. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's so fun. I know it'd be great with like vacations coming up. We're going to Florida in September, so I'm going to be knocking on your door before that happens. John, do you need a spray tan before we go?
No, I don't.
Do you ever get men?
Yes.
You do? Interesting.
You know, brides who want to be tan and then their husband's like pale as a ghost. And they're like, yeah, my husband's going to need a tan too. And so I'm like,
So
yeah,
smart.
fine.
Okay.
My very first male client was as tall as my trailer. His head touched the roof of my trailer. So that was kind of weird, but but yes, I do men.
Okay, any men listening, you are not left out of this conversation. Oh, did I get everything that I asked her? Okay, we're good.
Is there anything you want to say?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Alyssa, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. If you guys are local, make sure to go check her out. If you're not local, even just go follow her on Instagram or Facebook. She has really fun content, like I was mentioning, and it's a way to support her. And if you know somebody that would want to spray tan or be nearby, you can support her by sharing her page. That would be so sweet. 'Tis the season for weddings and vacations and all the things we need spray tans for. As always, we want to thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you next time.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you liked it, leave us a review. If you're following on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. On Instagram, follow us at The Modern Tulip, and we will see you guys in the next episode.